Hey guys, how are you doing? Today I come to you yet with another review of Days, episode 7. It is now the semifinals game, so it's the top 4 teams. For the most part, obviously, we have seen Seiseki playing. They won their game that they saw earlier in the episode by like 7-0. And of course, now they have a day off to rest. And Tsukamoto does not know what it means to rest, but he gives his reasons, and obviously it's time after time again where he says, because I am crap. He says that later in the episode, but it still makes reference to what's happening right now, him training and him completely running up and down as always. He says, he's crap, and the fact that he actually has something that he can call his own, he cannot just take it as lightly as the others. Because life goes at such a pace that before you know it, when you close your eyes, when you blink your eyes, life has already moved on, and you wonder where has time flew by. He even goes to explain, like, there was a time when I was in middle school and I was sitting up at the front seat, and before I even knew it, middle school was over, 3 years have passed, and I haven't made a single friend. I haven't joined any club activities. I haven't done anything. So now that he's in high school, and now that he was introduced to soccer by Kazuma, he doesn't want it to let it slip through his fingers. And I have to say, for one thing, that Kazuma, you can try to argue me with it on it, but Kazuma is a complete soccer sports fan fanatic. Like, this guy has loved soccer since he was a baby, since he was in diapers up to now. Okay, from infancy to young adult to adulthood. And with Tsukamoto opening his eyes and relighting that fire, that passion in him that he had for soccer, because if he was going down the same path, it would have slipped through his fingers, and possibly later down in the future, 10 years from now or so, he would end up regretting his choices of letting the one thing that he truly loved and held dear, allowed it to slip out his grasp. So he and Tsukumo decides to go and train for a little bit, and end up getting caught by Ubikata, who scolds them to death and telling them to go read some type of novel. Now we're at the final game to determine whether they go to the finals or not, and they're against a school that remind me somewhat of Kirasaki Daiichi from Kuroko no Basuke, simply because of their play. Now they don't have someone like Hanamiya, but I guess Hanamiya would have been pretty proud of how they were playing in this game. These guys were kicking, shoving, pulling shirts. Like, you ever watch a real life soccer game and you see them pulling the shirts? Now that's totally fine, but not enough to for them to get a yellow card. Now these guys, they were doing enough that if the referee was actually have eyes in front of his head, in the back of his head, and he saw the plays because they're in an open field, like, I don't know how you can miss that. He would have given them a yellow card, a penalty, something, kicked them off the freaking field, and which he did not do so. So to the point where they had to substitute one of the senpais, I forgot his name at the moment, and put Tsukamoto in the game, hopefully to build back up the momentum, because right now it's at the point where each team has 0 or 0, and no one has scored a point for a mass majority of the game. So they're going in there, and Tsukamoto, just before he can headbutt the ball, because Kazuma kicked it and it got kicked out, and it's landing now, and before Tsukumo can kick in the ball, headbutt the ball, he gets kicked in the chest, and these guys kicked so hard that it knocked out Tsukumoto, and he has to be put out of the game. Like, the minute he goes in, he has to be put out, because these guys want to get rid of all Seiseki's players, and they even go to mock him. Like, who the hell are you to mock someone when you have to go out your way to play these type of dirty tricks in order so that you can go to the finals and still lose at the end of the day by Sakuragi High? And then Mitsuki, he comes into the game, even though he should have been resting and been reserved for the final game. He goes in and he's showing everyone who's boss and why he's the captain of Seiseki. And I love the line that they use for him. Like, when he headbutted that ball, we seen it in the opening, but just watching that moment, and then he's going into his head like, oh, the ball's a little low, and he still managed to hit it into the goal. And 2 minutes remain, and they outrun everybody, and the game is Seiseki's. We hear that this line, it really was amazing, and it just goes to show if Tsukumoto stays long in this team, this is exactly what's going to happen to him. The line goes along like, you know, and that's the Centuries monster created by Seiseki's team, Mizuki Hisahito. If just imagine if Tsukumoto is to stay long enough in this team, he'll end up just like Mitsuki, or probably even better. They will shape him and mold him to become a real terror on the field when it comes to soccer. And oh my god, I have like the hopes I have for this to happen. Like, oh my god. And then we have this character who is going to prove to be quite a challenge when the final game does happen. And this character goes by the name of Narukami Shuji. He's on Saku's High's team, and he's number 10. And he's the top scorer on their team. So if you thought Indo was a monster, and we just got a little glimpse of his play after the little futsal game he and Tsukumoto had back in last episode, then imagine when we start to see Narukami play. Now, I can guarantee it's going to be him versus Kazuma. If Kazuma's the soccer genius, and with his styles and his skills paired up against the top scorer of Saku High, I hope that, you know, this game is solely, this episode that's going to be between these two schools is solely focused on the game. I don't want nothing to interrupt it. I don't want no flashbacks. I don't want nothing. Of course, we might get some flashback, but I want it to be so focused on this because I want to see Mizuki versus Indo and Narukami versus Kazuma. I know that's going to be an epic match, and somehow either Tsukumoto gets into the game, or he probably will have to stay on the side for the entirety of the game, of the final game. But who knows how they're going to play it out. But that will be such an epic game to watch when it does happen. So if you saw this week's episode of Days, do tell me in the comment section below on how you felt about it. Do you feel they could have added more scenes of their play? And are you hyped up for Saku High versus Seiseki High for the finals of the Interhigh? Do tell me that down below. The links are in the description box, so you guys go check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!